Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about how to study like a pro. Whether you're in high school or in college, chances are you're going to have a high stakes test around the corner, whether it's standardized tests, AP exams, or finals. And one of the most important things in college and high school is having great study skills. I can say that personally from my own experience. So, something that I really like to reference back to is Stoicism, which is kind of taking all your obstacles and thinking about them not as things that hold you back, but opportunities for growth. Something that's really stuck with me is this quote by Marcus Aurelius, who is actually a Roman emperor. In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. And this is just really something that captures, like, making sure that you keep things in balance. Don't focus 100% on just doing school or just doing this and then not having time for yourself. It's about making sure that your life is balanced. So personally, what I think are the keys to success, at least for me, how things have gone for me, is making sure that you have some sort of agenda or planner. And what I do with my agenda is I use it to write down all my assignments and important dates and deadlines. And in the daily section of my planner, I have a checklist of all the things that I need to do in the day. And I find it very satisfying to just sit there and check off all my assignments that I've gotten done or any work that I have to get done. Another thing that has helped me a lot is specifically for my math classes or any classes that require me to solve out formulas. I like to keep two separate notebooks. One of them is for examples and notes from class, and the other one I do to use to write out the scratch work for my homework. So for me, I'm able to look at both what's being said, what I got from my lectures or my classes, and at the same time in my other notebook I can write down whatever I need to for my homework so I can have them at my reference without like flipping back and forth between different pages. Another suggestion that I have is working on making study guides for yourself throughout the year. So specifically for math classes, you usually have a lot of different formulas that you need to put, and there's a lot of different information and concepts that you need to take down. So I personally like to make sure that I can have written down all the different formulas when I learn about them in different study guides. So when it comes to taking my exam, I have like sections of the different concepts that I can use to reference as I study. And also, like, it helps me remember things later on as well. And also, I personally find it beneficial because usually these study guides I keep throughout the years. So if I ever need to reference things in future math classes, I tend to have those already written down. And so one of the big debates is whether it's beneficial to actually write or type your notes. I personally prefer writing. And even though it's tend to be seen as old school, but that's just something that I prefer because I like to keep things written out in notebooks so I can just easily go back to it whenever I need to. So there are some pros. So writing your notes can force you to condense the information that you hear because the amount of time that it takes you to write, it's very hard to take down everything that's being said. So it'll give you the opportunity to process what you hear and write down the most important things. But the problem with that is that it can end up being messy and disorganized, so whenever you look at it later on, it can be hard to tell what's going on. Typing, obviously you can type faster, and it can become more organized. But the problem with that is that even though you're getting down all the information, you may not be able to process it because you're not taking the time to condense it and figure it out in ways that you can have it written so you can understand it later. So that's all for now. Thank you for listening.